If you would like someone to blame for the end of the heat wave, then feel free to blame me, because I feel like in last week's vlog when I was like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to have a weather situation whereby I can wear my Ophelia in it with this skirt? Well, lo and behold, it's kind of gone a bit cool. I could probably get away with wearing that today. So yeah, you can blame me for the abrupt end to the heat wave. I have to shoot some bits in the house this morning, which on a grey day like this today, not ideal. I'm currently trying to like fake a lot of glow so that, you know, when it's really grey and the clouds feel quite low, so then the light's really flat. It's like that. Everywhere in the house just looks really dull. So I'm currently trying to like make myself look as glowy as possible so that at least I don't look flat in the photos. And I find the Westman Atelier complexion drops are like a miracle worker. I wear them on a sunny day, but on a grey day like this, these pack a punch. They've got a hefty amount of glow along with the Vital Skincare Concealer. Lovely combination for like increased glow and very nice textures. And then I shall be packing tons of blusher on and just hope that it looks okay. And then once I've finished that and sent over to the client, I have the rest of the day to crack on with a pretty big garden job, which I'll show you when I get to that portion of the day. But we're going to start working on like the next phase of the garden, which includes laying down a lot of gravel, like basically continuing the gravel path into the like next part of the garden. So I'm starting to prep that today. And even though the sun's trying to break through, if it breaks through whilst I'm shooting, I'll be so grateful, and then it can go back in, I don't care. But yeah, even though it's a bit of a grey day, I'm actually really looking forward to just having lots of time in the garden. So that'll be my day. Can you just see her little ear? Perfect timing to get yourself settled on my lap, because I've now got laptop work to do, so you can really have quite the snooze. Shooting actually went all right. I'm quite pleased with how the photos turned out, and I don't actually mind that the lighting's quite low in them. It looks quite nice actually. I had to do just a couple of extra shots for George Jensen. I'm doing a couple of collaboration posts with them this month, one of which will already be live by the time this vlog goes up, along with the toast content that will also be live. That was what you saw me shooting in the studio in the last vlog. I am so pleased with how both collaborations have turned out. Like, I'm really happy with the video footage and the photo footage of both. It helps when the product is great, when the product looks good, feels good, like feels natural to me. It just becomes a lot easier and a lot more fun to shoot. So yeah, I'm really thankful for both brands for working with me and kind of giving me creative freedom, like just trusting what I do. And I'm just really happy with how everything's turned out. So if you see either of those posts, you know, a little emoji wouldn't go unnoticed. I'd be very grateful. I'm packaging up the jewellery. I don't get to keep it, unfortunately. The pieces I loaned are part of the new Mercy collection designed by Jacqueline Rabin. She also designed the Reflect collection, which I feel like is quite an iconic collection within the George Jensen universe. The Reflect necklace, the kind of chunky link one, has been high on my wish list for a very long time. It is so beautiful. I just wanted to show you this cuff because it's just, George Jensen jewellery is just the nicest. That sounds like such a rubbish way to describe something, but it's just like, it always just feels really satisfying, and it's just really, really nice to wear. I struggle with cuffs as well. I don't know if it's just like a kind of wrist shape thing, but they never really sit on my wrist very well. But this one, look at that. That is so nice. But yes, it needs to be packaged up, and I think they would notice if that didn't get returned, because it's quite a big piece. So yeah, glad that those two are done, because I did say last week I was quite anxious. I think when I really, really love a brand and I just want to do them both justice, or, you know, when I want to do any brand justice, I get quite anxious about it, and I start to really second guess my kind of like abilities and my taste and like my kind of vision. Oh, sorry, my face is all itchy. I think I've got Juno hair on me. But yeah, so pleased with how everything has turned out. Look at the umbrella. Looks so sad there. It kept blowing over, so we just had to take it out of its holder over there. Okay, so 2 big ton bags of this self-binding gravel have been delivered. So the first part of my job today is to spread a thin layer of that gravel around all of the plants. This was always the initial plan, but we just didn't have enough gravel to do that with when Semper were here. So now we have 2 tons of it and that will help keep the moisture in, and it will also suppress some of the weeds that have really, some of them have really started to come up now. I've not done any de-weeding for a while, but it will mean that I don't have to do so much de-weeding. And then the rest of the garden needs tackling. We need to start laying out the rest of the path that will kind of like wind its way down to the end of the garden. And then, I think I've already said this, at the very end of the garden there will be a kind of greenhouse slash shed thing eventually. I really hope that you can hear me over the wind right now. Oh, it's taken me a while to get into the rhythm. I'm an absolute mess. But I'm there now. I'm in a good rhythm. I feel like I'm about to present a gardening show. It's a bit more difficult than I anticipated because the soil needs to be completely clear of any like large weeds and leaves. Otherwise, because essentially what I'm doing is mulching in very fine, crushed up limestone into the soil. So if there is anything in the way, it kind of just either gets coated in this gravel, so it doesn't really look great. So it's a lot easier if the soil is completely clear. I think the bucket is like right in shot. Yeah, I've done about a quarter, I would say. I can see why this is a job that is best done immediately after planting, because now that things have started to grow, it's I kind of really have to sort of like dig my way into things and kind of like under things. So it's quite a strain on my back in my ripe age of 35. But it's been very nice to be outside, and the section that I have done is looking quite nice. But I realise actually you can't see any of that right now, so maybe what's best is I do a time lapse right now instead of ramble on. My blending technique could definitely do with some improvement. I think I need to do a little bit more like feathering of the gravel around some of the plants, because some of them have a very kind of like just harsh line of gravel around them where I've not done a good job at kind of feathering it out. So that needs a little bit of finessing. Also, something that I don't think is hugely noticeable but my eye is drawn to, where the new gravel meets the old, there's a little bit of a dip, and I just need to like taper that a bit more, like fill it in and then do like a gentle taper so that it blends together nicely, because at the moment I feel like I can still kind of see where the two meet. Aside from that, I'm very pleased. It now feels like a bit more of a kind of one whole space rather than bed feeling separate from this gravel area. Everything feels very connected now. And then as the plants grow and get bigger over the years, everything will turn into kind of like this big wall of green, so things won't look so separate. But yeah, it kind of also lifts the plants, like it brightens it a bit more now that they're against a backdrop of the limestone gravel. But that took 2 days. And I've still got the other side to do. Yeah, that took a lot longer than I anticipated. I have had one of those mornings whereby I've started like a million jobs and I've not finished any of them. I'm blaming it on it being the first day of my period, I feel horrible today and just a bit all over the place. Normally I'm someone who likes to tick off a job list from top to bottom one by one. Not today, just thought, screw it, I'll start everything all at once and just make myself feel even more anxious and chaotic. Anyway, something very nice has arrived. So as part of our holiday, which I'm not giving away just yet, we will be having some very fancy dinners, and it will be an excuse to dress up quite fancy. And I have some pretty good options for fancy evening wear, but I decided to rent a couple of dresses just so I've got a few backup options. And there was one particular dress that I really did want to rent to wear. Hello, Susie's just on the dining table, hence why the tripod's really wobbling. And I've actually rented this dress once before. It looks like this. It's from Totem. However, last time I rented it, it was fake. So I went on one of the Bellman trains last year, and as part of the trip, I attended a gala dinner. Probably first time I've ever been to a gala dinner. I had no idea what to wear. And in a bit of a panic, about 3 days before the trip, I rented this dress from her, Hurr, and tried it on. I was like, yep, okay, great, packed it. Didn't really clock that it wasn't real until I was on the trip and I was looking at it. Like, I put it on and I was looking at it and I was like, something's not right about this dress. Like, it's not fitting right, the fabric's a bit strange. This is a picture of me wearing it. It looked lovely, but it was quite uncomfortable. The fabric was quite scratchy. It just didn't fit. It was really, like, it looks lovely in the photos, but it didn't fit right. And I was like, for a dress that I know probably would have been pretty expensive when it, like, full price, I was like, it should fit a bit better. Anyway, when I got home, I was like inspecting all the labels and really looking at it, and I could tell it wasn't real. The labels were all weird. Also the length of the dress is meant to be a lot longer. And yeah, I got all my money back, but I was gutted because I think with something like that, like, I wasn't to know that I was renting a fake dress, because a lot of people just use stock images on there. However, this time round, I made sure that the person I rented it off had like a top lender thing on their profile. I can tell immediately, this is the real one. It feels so much thicker. The fabric feels so much nicer. The labels are all sewn on properly and in the correct place. It was packaged up so beautifully in this box. The previous time I rented the dress, it was literally screwed up in a postal bag. And then this person's printed off care instructions, and it's all done, like, printed off so beautifully, and I'm just like, oh, find me on Instagram. Oh, thanks, it's rented. It's just, like, honestly, such a contrasting experience. Excuse the hair for just a moment. I'm going to the hairdressers in about 2 hours, so you know. The outfit I'm currently wearing is an outfit that I've posted on Instagram several times, and I wore this shirt also in the last vlog, and each time I featured these pieces they have been met with a very good reception, and I have not actually properly broken them down in a vlog, so I thought actually I'll just quickly do that now. Annoyingly, this shirt is from a piece apart last summer, and I had a look online to link it in the last vlog and I couldn't see it. I will double check, but it's a shame. I thought it was going to be like a continuity piece because it's very classic. There is a chance that it will come back, but for now I couldn't find it. Someone actually in the last vlog said that this shirt had the perfect amount of sticky outiness, and that is now the technical term I will use when talking about shirts and their shape, whether they have a good amount of sticky outiness or not. And I would agree, this does have a great amount of sticky outiness, and I think that is largely due to the very big kind of stepped hem that it has. It's just cut really nicely. I'm going to put in like an actual selfie clip here because I know it'll be a lot easier to see things. Yeah, they've just done a really good job with this one. And something that I know is going to be super annoying because the shirt isn't available now, but it might be something that comes back or is kind of, I don't know, maybe if you're in the US, A Piece Apart is a slightly easier brand to find. Like in the UK, there's maybe like 2-3 shops that sell, but they always have a very small buy. But maybe in the US, there's like wider availability. Anyway, the cuff. And this I feel like it probably is quite common on shirts, but it's not something I have noticed on my shirts. So the cuff is like, it has 2 buttons, which most shirts normally do, but the 2 buttons usually still create a kind of like cinched in wrist, don't they? Whereas on this shirt, that sits completely straight rather than going in, and then you can adjust it so that it does sit more tighter to the wrist. And the reason why I like this so much is because it makes rolling the sleeve super easy. I know you can obviously undo the buttons and that's a way to roll up a sleeve, but then you kind of end up with sometimes the sleeve being a bit too wide or it just kind of unrolls itself somehow. This is great because it just rolls up really neatly because it's the same width. It's a small detail that has really, really made this shirt even more of a delight. And then the trousers, which I'll do like a full cutaway of now, they are from Sur, and they are the Vernon trousers. So they're the same as those black ones that I featured in a vlog, it was like a couple of vlogs ago, but they are a different fabric. So they're a viscose polyester blend, they're like 90% viscose. They have this they are a very nuanced colour. I can't even explain to you the colour because in some lights it leans green, in other lights it leans a bit more browny taupey. It's really hard to capture in video. They're such a beautiful pair of trousers. I like to wear them buttoned at the bottom because I really like that kind of like overly tapered look. Super comfortable because they've got the elasticated waist. I've just worn them continuously, and what's funny is I actually ordered them in the summer and I returned them because I was a little bit unsure about the colour, just with kind of like my skin tone in my hair. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is all a bit wishy-washy, you know, like sometimes when everything looks a bit washed out. So I just returned them in the end because I was like, I don't think these are working for me. But I did take a picture of myself wearing them and I was showing a friend and she was like, why did you return these? These look so good with your colouring and they just look great on you in general. So I repurchased them and had a good old play around with them and actually have just like completely fallen in love with them now, and the kind of like weird colour, and they're actually really great worn with like white, because sometimes white and black can feel a little bit too like contrasting. So this actually creates a more of a softer contrast. Anyway, some of you might have noticed in the last vlog, in the description box, I said that there is a discount code that you can use on Sur site-wide that gets you 10% off. I think it's Brittany 10, or is it 10 Brittany? I'll put it in the description box again. But I just wanted to let you know because obviously every little helps. Everyone loves a little discount code. And then the shoes are the Row Stella ballet flats, which I really quite desperately need to have a proper sole put on them. I took them to the cobbler when I got them box fresh, and he recommended I actually wear them a little bit because they needed to kind of like flatten out because they were quite a curved shape, and I've just kept wearing them. So I need to take them back to the cobbler and be like, right, they're ready. I've worn them, I've flattened them, they're ready to be resold. Because he said that with them being slightly curved on the side, if he puts a resole on immediately, there is a chance that as my foot warps the shoe, that sole could like kind of like peel off at the edges. So he said just wear them in so that they've shaped to your foot a bit more, and then he'll do it. But I've now become a bit attached to them, and I've not taken them back to the cobbler. Okay, I've just changed because I actually realised, as beautiful as that outfit is and I love wearing it, it's probably not the most practical outfit to wear to the hairdressers when I'm just going to be sat in a hairdresser's chair for ages. Like a white shirt, probably not the best choice. So I've put on the toast knit. It's kind of chilly out there, so I don't want to get cold on my walk to the hairdresser, so I thought I'll wear the toast knit. I'm wearing this at every opportunity at the moment. I know I said I don't want summer to end, and I still stand by that. but I feel like I'm getting an autumn practice run, and then I'm hoping the hot weather will come back. I am wearing a small/M. It comes in XS/S, S/M, and then L/XL. At first I was a bit like, should I have gone for the extra small/small? But I do really like how swingy it is. If you can hear a scratching sound, that is Susie. I think she's trying to get at a cobweb that she can see. Are you going to try and eat that cobweb? Both her and Juno like to eat spiders' webs. You're a true goth, aren't you, Susie? Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I quite like it being very swingy. The Roe Henry, because this colour combination of the sort of like reddish conker brown and the navy is just beautiful. And then Shayna Moat boy trousers in the chalk colourway. I think they were called chalk. Little sizing info. So I wear a 2 in the black and a 0 in this colour, and I wish I'd gone for a 2 in these. I think I must have got, I don't know which pair came first. I imagine it was the black pair. I don't know, maybe it must have been the white one. And then, anyway, they fit, but they sit really high on my waist, and I struggle to tuck things in. You can already, I've got a t-shirt tucked in, and you can see that there is a bit of tension there on the old waistband, whereas with the 2 they just sit a little bit lower, so I have the freedom to kind of tuck things in and also belt and wear a bit higher. So I do wish I'd got this colour in the 2, but I still wear the 0. They just don't get worn as much, unfortunately. And then Vans, I can never remember the name of these. Authentics? I think they're Authentics, or are they Eras? It's very coastal grandma though, isn't it? And I'm not mad about it. Right, trying to go and get this all sorted. You have 10 minutes of cuddle time, so make the most of this. I do not want to be late for my hair appointment. And do not put a claw in this jumper. It's quite an open knit, so it's perfect for your claws to sink into. Yesterday I was wearing the grey Ophelia, and obviously I look after all of my knits, but I'm trying to just let them kind of like live their life, if you know what I mean. Like, I know that they will bobble and they won't always look fresh. There will be a point where they do really start to look a bit more lived in. But yesterday when she came and sat on my lap, she really dug a claw into the sleeve, and I was just like, welcome to the packing chaos. I have been a ball of anxiety this week in the lead up to dropping Susie and Juno off at the Cattery. Like, I just haven't really been able to think about anything else apart from that. So I'm now doing a little bit of panic packing. Well, it's not panic packing, it's just like, I would have liked to have done this a few days ago, not the day before leaving. But yeah, I've just been like, I've just not been able to get into the right headspace. I don't know how people leave their pets on a regular basis. Like, it has made me feel sick this week. And I can't say I feel that much better after dropping them off. Cried when I got home because it felt weird coming home and them not being here. But also, I just need to get a grip because Dean and I deserve a holiday. They'll be fine because they're in this incredible Cattery. And before I know it, we'll be home anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, I do feel a little bit better. At least now we can pack and then tidy the house without it disrupting them hugely because we leave quite early tomorrow morning. Okay, so just looking at everything, it's kind of a bit everywhere. It's mostly black and white. Not that you would have expected much more from me, but now I am thinking maybe I just need to chuck a few like colourful t-shirts and tank tops in there just for good measure. Right, I'm going to try and make this quick because you know what I'm like, but this will be the last portion of the vlog. So to give this all context, part of our holiday is going to be spent on one of the Ritz-Carlton yachts. I know. I have got major imposter syndrome. Like, I am convinced that they have reached out to the wrong Brittany, and by the time they realised I was not the correct person, it was too late for them to say no to me. I'm just like, I don't think they've got the right person. But as you can imagine, we jumped at the chance because this feels like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So yes, that is why I've been a little bit anxious about evening stuff, because I feel like I need to put in a bit of effort, you know, it's a chance to dress up, which is why I've rented a few things, I've borrowed a dress from a friend, I've bought a few new pieces, but I'm still trying to, you know, feel like myself still, but also put in a bit more effort than I usually would. One of the pieces that I'm hoping is going to help me cheat my way through a few evenings is the Pleats Please Madame T stole. I got this a few days ago, and when it arrived, honestly, I spent about an hour playing around with this. You might have seen this reel that I posted on Instagram. So it's a huge piece of fabric, massive piece of pleated fabric with a hole in the middle that you can obviously put over your head, over your arm, and there are honestly endless possibilities to style this as a top, a skirt, a shawl, a dress. Just honestly, I could have been there for hours. It comes with a book, which is actually really helpful, that guides you through a few different ways to style it, and I feel like that is a really good kind of like starting point, because then you can build on those. And I'm going to do some content with it, kind of just showing my favourite ways to style it, because it is a bit daunting, because you're just like, okay, where do I even begin? I actually saw someone on TikTok wear it as like a beach cover up as well, so I was like, okay, truly, from day to night. So yeah, this is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for me, because I can make this look like 1,000,001 different outfits. And it just, the way it moves, it has the most incredible movement, and the shapes that it makes. I felt like a magician when I was playing around with this. I have that totem dress that you already saw. I also have another beautiful dress from Kate that I've borrowed, but I'm not going to show you that because I feel like that'll be a nice one to kind of like reveal in the next vlog, or, you know, over on Instagram. Then, because I feel like different restaurants will have slightly different dress codes, or kind of like levels of fanciness, shall we say. I know that's not a very, that's not the proper term. So I've got this, which feels a little bit more casual in contrast to the totem dress, but still very nice. This is from Scal. It's a black linen sleeveless dress that has really beautiful lace detailing at the bottom. And then I will take Pleats Please trousers, and it's either, do you know what, I might just take both. Pleats Please trousers and Pleats Please skirt to kind of use with the Madame T stole in case I want to do a top with it or something. It's just, these act as good like underlayers in case I feel like I need them. I have, this is a good one. So I have another great secondhand find. It is another skirt from the row. This one's been on my wish list for a while, and finally presented itself to me about 2 weeks ago, so perfectly timed for this trip. This is the Ruth skirt. I think this was summer 23 maybe? It was the collection that was full of very bold reds and blues. This skirt came in a pretty punchy blue, and I have been tempted by it several times when it pops up on resale, but it's quite a commitment because it is such a bold skirt. So I held out for the cream, and I love it, absolutely love it. This pleating is really beautiful at the top here because it has a frayed edge as well. So that's going to be a great daytime. Actually, that could actually be worn with maybe like a nice sheer silk black shirt actually. Also, just a side note, I have started to add like I've added like a second-hand section on my Shop My, because I'm not going to gatekeep the stuff I find on Vestiaire, because half the stuff I can't really buy anyway because of like huge duties and customs charges. But I recently saw these Jill Sander shoes, which I've been so tempted by. The only thing that's stopping me is I'm just not sure about them being half size down than I normally would go. I'm just like, I don't know, what if they end up being too small? But I just think they're so beautiful. Also, actually, do you know what? Hold on a minute. So, something else. So I've got two other things. Hold on. I've got these two jackets. They're very similar. This one's from Massimo Dutti. This is, I'm pretty sure this is linen, or maybe it's a linen hemp blend. Some really nice details on the bottom there, and then this kind of like curved split sleeve. And then this silk jacket from the row, which is super simple, has the most delicate hook and eye fastening. However, on Vestiaire, I found this Kenzo silk jacket that is so similar to both of these. It's actually more similar to this actually, but it has 2 front pockets. It looks so beautiful, and I have put in several offers on it, but the seller just hasn't responded to them. But just in case anyone's like looking for sort of like a very minimal silk jacket, this Kenzo one that I saw, it's so nice. But yeah, like I said, there's a section on my Shop My Now that I'll be adding secondhand things to. But these 2 are coming on holiday with me. I think these will be nice with just like those trousers in the previously shown, and some black silky trousers as well. But I'm just hanging these up until, because they'll probably go in last. And then some other highlights. Oh, this skirt, honestly, this skirt is so good. It's from a designer called Hannah Wessel. It's actually quite similar to this one from the Row in that it's quite crinkly. It's a type of skirt that it doesn't require any steaming. I can just take it out of the case, put it straight on. It's almost like the crinklier it gets, the better. It's got several layers and has a kind of like raw hem. It's just really, really nice shape, really lightweight and breathable. Also a good daytime piece. I'm taking the Kate Coley dress in the white cotton poplin. I wore this quite a lot last summer. Such a cool dress. And surprisingly have managed to keep it quite clean. There is one small stain on the front here that I'm going to try spot clean off before I put it in the case. What other things could I show you? I do actually have some colour. Found this bag, I don't really know how to pronounce this brand. AA, double L, double S. Thought this would be lovely for the evening. How nice is that? Orange silk knitted bag. That against all of the black that I've packed. Do I have any new shoes to show you? Not particularly. The shoes that I'm going to rely on, the Row Constance in the dark brown, and then those Kate shoes, which I've actually put in a different case. I can never remember what they're called. You know the ones with like the little heel and the sort of like foot strap thing. That is really not describing very well. What else could I show you? Oh, the Row Tetsi tank dress. That's going to be quite a key piece for me during the day. It's quite a heavy tank dress, but it's not close to the body. It's quite swingy, so I don't feel like I overheat in it particularly. Ellery bead bag. That's going to be a nice one. I keep forgetting as well, we will be getting off the yacht, so I do need a kind of bigger bag in case we want to go to like the beach when we get off, or just generally walking around. So I got that COS raffia bag, and then inside, which fits so perfectly, the Row Henry. So this is how I will travel on the plane, to disguise 2 bags, and then I don't have to worry about getting the raffia one in the case. What do I have in terms of? Oh, I have this really nice cover up. I got this second hand. I have no idea the original brand. It feels like it's a silk. No, it feels like a cotton linen blend. It was from Pre-Clothes last year. It's basically a very large sack of a sheer dress with a really wide neck. Very me. This pile here to my left is like the maybe pile. I don't know if anyone else does this when they pack, but like have all the key things that are definitely going in, and then once they're in, I go through the maybe pile and figure out if I've got space for them. Is that everything I want to show you? I've started to roll stuff up, so I kind of don't want to like unpack everything. Those were just the highlights, really. And then you can see everything in action in the next vlog. Putting this vlog together has like instantly reminded me why I don't do this weekly, because this was such a bad vlog. Like I don't even know what that packing segment was. Like my head just wasn't in it this week. And I know many of you will be like, no, we love anything you post. But this was a bad vlog. It was just weird. Anyway, I very ambitiously picked 6 books to take on a 12-day holiday, which is, ridiculous. So I've now taken it down to 3. These are the 3 I've chosen. The Wedding People, The Rachel Incident, The Women. All 3 books begin with the. I've not actually been reading this week because I bought this. The My Sims Cozy Bundle. It is very cozy, it's very cute. I wouldn't say it really has much connection to the original Sims concept. Like, you don't really care for your Sim at all. It's more about world building. You kind of just like bumble around town, like building houses for your mates and just making the town look nice and collecting things along the way and like harvesting trees and plants and stuff. So that's what I've been doing in place of reading this week. But I will not take that with me because I do want to read, and also playing on a Switch in the sun, like that's not happening. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here because I want to get this vlog live before we go. So next vlog will be up kind of like sort of mid-September because our vlog holiday. So yeah, mid-September is when I sort of will aim to get another vlog up. So until then, hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for watching this terrible vlog, and I'll see you in the next one.